Hey Julie, what do women do?
Women rock.
I am the fire, I am burning brighter, I'm glowing like the sun, and I am the one.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Belgian Jasper. This is Julie. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now. Obviously, this week on the channel, we're celebrating International Women's Day, and we thought it would be fun to do a video where I introduce Julie to my 20 favorite female singers of all time. Now, you already know some women in hard rock and heavy metal.
Definitely.
You've seen some live. You went to an Arcona show. You've seen Lucifer. Halestorm.
Yeah.
So Julie's not new to some of these, but to some of them she will be new. This is not, based on any vote or anything like that. This is just my personal top 20 singers. Julie's gonna watch a video with me of these singers, and then she'll give her thoughts on these iconic and pioneering women.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Let's kick it off and we're gonna do this because I don't want to make this into a top 20. It's not, who's number one or what have you. So we're gonna run through this in a chronological way.
Okay.
And at first I thought, it would be fun to start in this time and go back in history to the more pioneers. But actually, I think it makes sense to do it chronologically because
evolution.
you can see the evolution, and then it's like, hey, this person added this flavor to it, and then somebody else took it to the next step. So that being said, let's start with the band Coven with White Witch of Rose Hall.
The White Witch of Rose Hall, the devil she could call. A night in a black when she did arrive.
So, Julie, Coven, White Witch of Rose Hall, the singer is Jinx Dawson. You knew Coven already.
Yes, I love Coven, but you introduced me to them.
Jinx is phenomenal. She was 18 years old, I believe, when she sang on this record. She's still around today. She's still phenomenal.
Such a strong voice.
Absolutely. Psychedelic rock more than heavy metal, but absolutely one of the greats. So check it out. Jinx Dawson for Coven. And moving on to the second lady, we are gonna jump from 1969 all the way to 1984.
Oh.
Sorry, all the way to 1983 actually. Sorry. The Belgian band Acid, who brought a speed power metal proto thrash, was a little bit more raw with a female singer. So it was really really different than what people knew, and we're gonna listen to Max Overload.
Were the Belgian 80s like the American 60s? The sound feels like it's still something that could flow right after that Coven sound. Like it could have come out in the same time period. It's got, I feel like it kind of smooth transition piece.
Okay, cool.
I like it though. I mean, it's a fun
Energy.
energy. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go on to our third singer. Our third singer is Leone from Chastain. Chastain was a power / heavy metal band from the 80s, and we are going to listen to the song, my favorite song of the band, Angel of Mercy.
All right. I feel like this is the first one where we're kind of transitioning into that more metal feel. It's got that kind of heavy tinniness to it, a little more eerie, more of a downbeat. Yeah, but I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's very, very accessible.
It's cool how she has she has a bit of a raspy voice.
Totally.
But it still is very epic at the same time. Our fourth singer, absolute icon. Every time I talk about the singer, I say that she deserves a statue because she really is like the first proper heavy metal queen that, started to break or shatter the glass ceilings in heavy metal, which was a big deal. So we're talking about the German singer Doro. But in the 80s, she broke through as a singer of a band called Warlock. Their massive classic album called Triumph and Agony had a number of amazing songs, but the song that we will always remember Doro for is the song All We Are.
All we are, all we are, we are all we need.
All we are all we need. Thoughts on Doro?
Lots of fun. This is true 80s fun. It's it's an anthem. The video has neon and hair for days.
So much hair.
It's fun to sing along to. She's got another one of those really raspy voices that I love, especially in rock. It's really fun. So yeah, good.
And when I mentioned Doro, I don't think that you knew what I was talking about, but when I hit play, you were like, I know this song.
Well, I recognized the name. I was curious who you were going to say. I recognized the name, but couldn't think of a song until you started it. But yes, I did. We did indeed know it.
In the 90s, so we're going to fast forward again a little bit. We're going to go to 1995 now. Something that we start seeing happening is the rise of gothic and symphonic metal. This particular kind of music, this gothic symphonic metal, really big in the Netherlands, and we're gonna definitely have a few Dutch singers on this list, but none of these bands would have made it as quickly as they made it if there wasn't this one band, a little bit more on the gothic side than symphonic side, that paved the way, if you will, and that is the band The Gathering. And the iconic singer of the Gathering, because I had a few, is Anneke van Giersbergen, and their classic song is called Strange Machines. Okay, well, as 80s as Warlock was, how 90s was this performance?
So, yeah, I mean, I was actually having a bit of trouble putting my finger on it because it felt like it was a mix of a few different 90s sounds in one. You know, at first it was kind of that alternative sound, and then when she started with the vocals, it felt a little bit gothic even.
Yeah.
And then it gets a little more grungy as you kind of work your way into it. So yeah, 90s wrapped up in a neat little box, basically.
So we'll stay in the Netherlands and we'll stay in the same genre. Because like I said, The Gathering, they really paved the way for other bands that would come. And one of the bands that became extremely big in this genre, still around today, well, not just around, but one of the biggest bands today, they have drastically changed their sound though. So this band is called Within Temptation. The singer is called Sharon. Adel. She's really great. And I picked one of their earlier songs when they really broke through, and this song is called Mother Earth. By this time we go from the, alternative mix that was The Gathering to full-blown symphonic gothic metal, where it became the standard that women would, sing on stage in like medieval gowns, and a lot of these fantasy elements in not just the music but also in all the art and the themes.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Within Temptation?
Great voice. I love it's very clean, beautiful vocals, operatic. Yeah, I think it's a great sound. It's soft, but it crescendos too at the end, which is nice. We saw them together at Grass Pop, and then I like how the whole the music video that we've been watching. It's like a play.
Yeah,
kind of. It's a whole presentation.
And there is a Disney Broadway quality to that, and I mean that in a positive way.
Yeah, with a little bit of a spookiness.
Yes, for sure. For the next song, we'll actually go a year back in time, because while women or female-fronted symphonic bands started to really break through Within Temptation and some other bands that we may or may not get to, something else was happening as well. There was a band that released a new album. This was a melodic death metal band from Sweden, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is their best album yet. This is really good." Apparently they have a new singer. Singer's really great, guttural death metal screams and grunts. And then it turned out that this band was arch enemy, and that singer was none other than Angela Gossow. People couldn't believe that this skinny, gorgeous young woman was creating sounds as good, if not better, than the men.
It's not my personal cup of tea, but I love that she's a trailblazer. I love that she opened doors for women to access a genre that was male-dominated, so I'm all for it in that way.
There you go. There definitely were women in extreme bands before, but this was the first time that a band became so popular with an extreme female vocalist. Now, there's one band that was leading the way in Finland for female-fronted symphonic gothic metal, a name that I think you will recognize, Nightwish.
Yes.
All right.
Floor Jansen.
Well, Floor Jansen, we'll not get ahead of ourselves too much. So Floor Jansen was actually one of the Dutch singers from a band called After Forever.
Okay.
But she did join Nightwish in 2013, I believe, for the first time. Became a full member maybe the next year or the year after. But
just when I think I knew something.
sorry. The first singer of Nightwish, a lady called Tarja Turunen, Finnish singer, and you know what? Forever and ever, it will be a debate amongst Nightwish fans. I'm sure. It's kind of like Ozzy and Dio for Black Sabbath. Who was the best singer? So we're gonna listen to Tarja with Nightwish. She's now solo artist with the song Wishmaster.
There's nothing, you can't say anything negative about it. She's very talented, beautiful voice, lots of range. I would like to kind of just see her on her own for a while and explore the full.
Sure, yeah. And on high heels as well on that stage.
Yeah.
With such a dress, you can only imagine. And I noticed that when she started with the high vocals, I could hear you go time for just modern metal.
Okay.
One singer that really also stands out in maybe let's call it a heavy groove electro pop metal. I don't really know how to define it anymore because they do change their style all the time, which keeps them relevant, which is cool. But have you heard of? I actually know that you have heard this song before.
Okay.
I don't know if the name will ring a bell, but there's a band called In This Moment.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different song. No,
that's okay. That's okay.
It's from this moment.
And so the singer is Maria Brink.
I can be your everything. I can be your heart.
You love me for all the things you hate me for. In This Moment definitely brings, a shock rock element to talk about some serious issues.
I love it. It was very catchy. I'm all for females reclaiming language that was used against them in a derogatory way. So if that's what this is, then that's cool too. Is this the one that does like the pink?
Yeah, the sex metal Barbie.
Yeah.
So she does the sex metal Barbie song, which I thought was pretty cool because basically she just used comments from YouTube or whatever, where people are just kind of like, you don't belong in our scene and you're just a sex metal Barbie, and she kind of took that and owned it, so that's pretty cool to see. All right, well, you mentioned her before, Nightwish is twice on this list, once with Tarja, once with Floor Jansen, who, she didn't replace Tarja, there was another singer in between, but Tarja and Floor will be, forever known as the two great singers of Nightwish. And so we're gonna listen to Ghost Love Score, a live version with Floor Jansen.
Yeah, she's terrible. No, she's amazing. She definitely hits some really hard notes. She has huge range. I think she's a great sound and great with this band as well.
Something completely different again. I'm gonna put together psychedelic rock and doom metal.
Oh, okay.
I love this band. This band is called Avatarium, and we are going to listen to Moon Horse, which is from their first album.
All right.
Playing like children, they look just like me.
I really liked her voice. I thought it was an interesting switch up from ones that I'd be curious to hear more of their stuff, because I can't otherwise imagine how folk and doom kind of go together unless it's a very similar cadence in all of their songs.
Yeah.
But her voice was neat, and it was definitely a different type of song.
Yeah. All right. So after Avatarium, a little bit of a sidestep. We're going back to symphonic metal from the Netherlands. Maybe my favorite band in that genre. Just released their latest album. Album's called Omega, but the band's called Epica. The mezzo-soprano, who is Simone Siemens, is I think she's phenomenal. But let's find out what Julie thinks.
I like her. I like, out of all of the more operatic singers in this list so far, I find she has the sharpest vocals. So very clean sound. It feels like it comes quite naturally to her, and I think it juxtaposes well with the other sounds that the band has to offer.
All right, and so now we've had a lot of symphonic metal. We had some heavy metal, taking it back a little bit more, down to earth, a little bit more straightforward rock and roll with a band that I know you like and that you've seen already live. Halestorm with Lzzy Hale.
I am the fire, I am burning brighter, roaring like a sun.
What did you just whisper?
It's so good. She is someone for girls and women of all ages to rally around. Like, I love how empowering this song is for, I picture someone, a teenager needing a boost, an icon, and she's got that edgy Joan Jett kind of feel to it.
Definitely.
I think she's so cool. Have a beer with me.
We'll go to, again, a different kind of music. Power metal. One could say that this band brings neoclassical power metal with some thrash in there as well, some melodic death metal as well, and with kick-ass vocals. I'm talking about Canada's finest, Unleash the Archers, with Brittney Slays as a singer.
This is the night.
One thing that Unleash the Archer doesn't do is put their foot on the brake. Like, this is, everybody's just, full speed ahead, take no prisoners.
Right, you have to be in the mood for high energy, but if you are, then this is perfect, and I love that she's Canadian. It's just great range, very strong. It's fantastic.
I mean, the technical abilities of this band is phenomenal. Like, every musician is great, but then you've got Brittney, who just is this, tiny girl with a range that is ridiculous, and she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right, time for something completely different. I know that you've heard of and have heard BabyMetal.
Yes.
They play what they call kawaii metal, which is the pop music of Japanese idol music, which are basically, kids, like young kids from TV shows, and they make them sing stuff, and it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, I like BabyMetal. I'm not ashamed to say so, but BabyMetal was started when the members of BabyMetal, they were like 12 and 13 years old, and they were considered too old for idol music. And it's kind of creepy
kind of fetishy.
Yeah, it's but anyways, I think they do a really good job. They're backed by a phenomenal band. It's fabricated. It's kind of weird, but I felt like it was kind of what metal needed when they came out, and there's no doubt about how talented these young women are. The main singer of the band, who goes by the name Sue Metal, and she's a phenomenal singer. But let's find out what Julie thinks of Sue Metal in BabyMetal.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I think she's talented for sure.
There's no doubt about it. I mean,
such a small thing to be such a big sound.
And not to forget, compared to all the other people that we've had in the video so far, all these songs. First of all, you're right. The intensity of all these songs is crazy. The pace of these songs is crazy, but also the choreography of these songs, because. And it kind of shows like these, and that's again, it gives me a bit of a double feeling because these girls, and at the time of this recording, they were like 14, 15 years old. They were like drilled like athletes, and not only does she has to sing perfectly, she does all these moves along and jumps around. Like it's crazy.
I guess the same could be said for other teen.
Oh yeah,
pop
for sure, exactly. But
it's nice to see representation too from outside of the Western world.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool that a lot of the Western world also really embraced BabyMetal. Like I said, a lot of people will there will be comments on this video of people saying, "How dare you include BabyMetal in the top 20 vocalists the whole time?" But she's really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was BabyMetal, Sue Metal. Fuck yeah. All the way back we had Gossow, extreme singer for Arch Enemy, paving the way for people like Tatiana from Jinjer.
I am physically seeing it, but I'm not believing it.
That's something that I'm sure Tatiana has heard many times. An unexpected.
I mean, it starts kind of
chill, mellow, jazzy.
and then
just when you think
packs a punch. Again, not my favorite just for listening value, but
impressive.
But very impressive. Definitely impressive. Yes.
Have you ever heard of the lady called Amalie Brun?
No.
All right. So she is a Danish American singer, loves black metal, and created her own black metal project. A lot of famous people in metal collaborated, blew people away. Again, a lot of purists are very, very anti her black metal project, which is called Mythburg. But I think it's pretty phenomenal. I think she's really good. And we are going to listen to the song Ulvinde. I probably I love this, but what do you think?
I mean, I absolutely think it was dark enough to be black metal, if that's the concern. It's, for me, quite dark, and even upsetting a bit at times. It felt like The Ring a little bit.
What about the, because there's definitely, like in this song in particular, there's two sides to it, right? There's the almost folky Viking music.
Yeah, on its own. I mean, I still found it had quite an eerie, ethereal character.
Beautiful video.
But beautiful video. If that time's shocking, and I do love the soft bits.
We started with psychedelic rock from Coven, and we're gonna go pretty much back to psychedelic rock for the late 60s, early 70s influences. I know that you know this band, Blues Pills, with charismatic and energetic singer Ielin Larsson. I think I pronounced that correctly, but Ielin will tell me if that's not the case. Their latest album, Holy Moly, one of the best albums of 2020 for me, no question about it. We're gonna listen to the song Low Road.
Got this feeling inside my head, won't stop till I am dead. I got no place to hide.
So as much as Doro was 80s and as much as The Gathering was 90s, Blues Pills channels the 70s.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy how, but they totally embrace it. From the look to the videos to obviously the sound, and it's crazy how much time has passed, and then the sound still resonates, and it's still so attractive. So yeah, I love the voice, and I love the whole sound of this. Very psychedelic, 60s, 70s, Jefferson Airplane kind of inspired.
Definitely deserves a spot on the top vocalists in hard rock and metal.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about it. Let's go to raw black metal. We've not really touched on pure black metal yet.
So my bag.
So this is really the time that Julie can rock out, because that's what she's all about.
Amen.
But we are going to listen to the one-woman project, Hulder. She not only sings, but all the instruments are hers as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really a saturated genre, and it's hard to stand apart, I would say, these days. Especially with such a stripped down sound. Hulder brings this new kind of authenticity, and I know this is not your favorite kind of music, but your thoughts on this music? And the singing in particular, because this is vocalists, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. Like, I can't make up the lyrics. I'm assuming that's quite common in this genre.
Well, I mean, obviously, like, especially if you have the lyrics and you really listen to it, it's different. But it can be a challenge.
Yeah, it seems like with the grunting, like this has taken it to a darker, maybe deeper level. But it's such a whimsical start to the video with such a contrasting sound. It's a work of art. It's not my thing, but it's there's talent there, and I can definitely see that very pagan approach to.
And it's also kind of cool that with. I'm gonna put Hulder in similar category to like a Lzzy, Hale, or even or Tatiana from Jinjer. Like these are women that show you that you don't have to necessarily wear a gown on stage and be the angelic vocals in a gothic metal band to be a woman in metal. Which doesn't discredit by any means, Floor Jansen and Simone, because I think that they are probably the best out there when it comes to pure singing capabilities.
Yeah.
But we need bands like Hulder to show that there's no part of metal, no matter how extreme, no matter how dark and underground. Exactly, that it's exclusive to men.
Totally agree. I love that she's just very much doing her own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And even I think her whole image too is
100%.
Very
100%.
self-crafted and unique. So that's fantastic.
All right, so we are at number 20.
Ooh.
We've had some controversial picks in this video so far with BabyMetal and with Midkur as well. It is tough for somebody deemed an outsider to become part of an underground genre.
Yeah.
Especially when, in this case, the outsider was a rising Hollywood star, playing in one of the very popular TV shows called what's it called? Gossip Girls. No, I had to think about it. I was thinking Gilmore Girls, but I know it was a girl something. But I'm talking, for those who don't know by now, Taylor Momsen. With highs and lows, she's been going at it with her band The Pretty Reckless, and just now this band released a phenomenal new album. One of the standout songs on that album is the song 25.
And the glass of my intentions turns to sand and shatters in my...
You obviously know The Pretty Reckless.
Yes. I don't know this new album or the song. But,
you know some of their more like upbeat, like kind of like anthem-y songs. A little bit like some of the older Halestorm songs.
Yeah.
But what do you think of 25?
I like it. I think she's got a phenomenal voice. I think it's nice how she always plays different aspects of that voice out in her songs, so she'll have a range of what she can do in any of the songs that I know by them. Yeah, I think she's terrific, and I think she absolutely deserves her piece of the pie in this world.
100%. To be honest, I don't know if outside of North America, The Pretty Reckless is as well known. I don't know. I think I definitely got to know her and her band more after I moved from Europe to North America. But for me, Taylor Momsen is one of those people that, because she was the Hollywood actress, teen actress, she was never taken serious as a metal singer or a hard rock singer.
I think the issue too was that she played this really goody two-shoes, sweet young girl.
Yeah, and I'd like to see with this new album that change, because I had a chance to already listen to the full album, and well, I think by now the album is out, so you can all listen to the full album. But she has a phenomenal voice, and it's such a unique voice as well. You know, she might not be able to do what Floor and Tarja at Nightwish do in the operatic style, but you know, she has a really unique, cool voice. And on this album, I think that more than any other Pretty Reckless album before, the music really makes that shine.
Yeah, and she's an adult now too, so she has a little more to explore.
Definitely,
She has a very sultry quality to her voice.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Taylor Momsen was my 20th and final pick for the greatest female vocalist in hard rock and heavy metal history. I'm sure you don't agree with all my picks. Let me know in the comments which artists you would have put in your top 20. And you know, this week is all about celebrating women in hard rock and metal in celebration of
International Women's Day.
Absolutely. And after, you know, watching these 20 amazing women, what can we conclude, Julie?
Women rock.
Oh yeah.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like this and subscribe to the channel below.